Hello friends, you are watching the Seated Scribe and I am Rudrashish Dotto. For today's pen review, we have a product from the house of Sheaffers, Sheaffer Taranis, named after the Celtic god of thunder. Now Sheaffer Taranis has been a workhorse pen the world over for the last 10 years. It usually excites emotions which are sometimes on both extremes, and there are specific reasons for these. In today's review, I will look at those emotions which makes people like the pen and also look at features for which people have definite reservations and provide a writing sample. So without any further delay, let us go to the pen. Well friends, Sheaffer pens come in boxes like these, and it's a nice looking box. There is a Sheaffer logo and Sheaffer written, and this is the Sheaffer Taranis. Well, the box also contains a couple of cartridges which I will not be using for today's review, and a use and care guide and a lifetime warranty document. So let me keep it aside and go to the pen. So this is Sheaffer Taranis. It has a rather longish clip which is spring loaded. It's fairly tight but not unusable, and it has that characteristic white dot of a Sheaffer. Now there is one unique feature with which we don't find often in fountain pens, and this is, if you look at the finial at this section, it's a squarish shaped end, but this squarish shape gradually transforms to a circular cap as well as a circular barrel, because at the other end of the barrel too we have a squarish shaped end. So this is something which we don't find in very many fountain pens. Now with regard to the pen as such, now there is one thing that strikes a person. This is, unlike other fountain pens, most other fountain pens which have a cap length and a barrel length ratio of cap length being smaller than the barrel length, here we have almost similar length cap and barrel. Maybe the barrel may be slightly longer, but this is it. Now this is not a threaded opening, this is a push lock system, and here is the section, the writing section. If you look at the nib is a semi-hooded nib. It's partly enclosed in this section, and there is a slant here, and this is the other end. The feed is plastic. The feed of the pen is plastic. This is a metal rim that encloses this plastic section. It has M written over here, since this is a medium sized nib that I have opted for review, and this is the pen. We have this metal section having Sheaffer inscribed on this. Now these pens usually come in supplied cartridges as well as a Sheaffer converter that is fit here. Now I will be using this converter later to fill up ink for the writing sample. The converter is fairly springy, it works well. Now there are two things which immediately catches my eye while reviewing this pen. One aspect is, if you notice, the inner threads of this section is metallic of the barrel. This will lock into the threads of this section which is also metallic. Now one problem with such metal-metal combination is that if for some reason there is a slight twist towards opening, it may open all the way through very easily, metal sliding over metal and opening the cap. So as such, this may bother some people who may be carrying it for daily use, and they may suddenly find, without their knowing, the barrels have disengaged from the writing section. So this is something which usually bothers some users of Taranis. There is another issue which bothers some users of Taranis, and that is the aesthetics of this rather biggish inscription Sheaffer right on top of the writing section. This usually bothers some who may feel that this inscription appears rather too loud for some eyes. The nib is a semi-hooded nib, as I have said, and we will see how it functions on paper. This section is shiny, it is slippery. This may bother some people with sweaty fingers, and there is actually no flares at this end which may prevent fingers from slipping down, but with a rather long writing section, this may not be a problem in long writing sessions. So this is the pen. This is a medium nibbed version of Sheaffer Taranis. Now we'll ink this up and see how it fares under actual writing circumstances. For inking this pen, I'm using Waterman Mysterious Blue. Yes, so the pen is inked. And now we'll go for the writing sample. Well, for the writing sample, I have filled this pen with Waterman Mysterious Blue, and let me see how it fares on 65 GSM paper. There is a slight hint of feedback even in the medium nib. Yes, and some drag as well. This is a medium weight nib. Both the downstrokes and the upstrokes are wet too, as are the slant strokes. Now this is a stiff steel nib, so it won't be providing variations in nib width for calligraphy style writing. Yes, there are no variations as such. So this is a pen fit for normal writing and not calligraphy style writing. There is a definite feedback. There is even some drag which I get, but this drag is some reassurance for some users of Sheaffer pens, because that gives them the special feeling that they are writing with a fountain pen. So all in all, this is a good pen, but it ticks the right boxes. There may be an occasional issue with the aesthetics of this loud looking Sheaffer inscribed on the writing section. It bothers some, and for some others there is an issue with this pen, because many feel that the pen with its features, in spite of its uniqueness, does not offer a value for money. So this is an extremely subjective assessment as to whether the pen as it stands offers value for money, but I leave it to individual buyers and viewers or users. But all in all, this is a pen which stands unique, and the pen in the last 10 years since it has been released, it did excite extreme emotions for a number of reasons, one being the price, the other being the aesthetics of this. The third is again something, if I can show it to you, this semi-hooded nib is positioned in the writing section in such a manner that there is a definite gap between the upper surface of the nib and the end of this metallic section. Yes, I think I can focus it for you. So this may bother some because this is something that is not usually seen in hooded or semi-hooded nib structures, and this gap often bothers users, because in case something goes wrong with the feed, this is the part that usually leaks ink. So I don't know, Sheaffer may be having some justification in leaving this gap as such, but it does bother some users, both from the point of view of aesthetics as well as from the point of view of the usability. So all in all, this is a pen which can be easily a collector's item. It can be a workhorse as well, like most Sheaffer pens are, and it ticks the right boxes generally, except for the points that I have specified in the review. So that's all I have time for this week. We'll be back with another pen and another review next week. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.